Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Committee of Adjustment. And we apologize for relocating our meeting. There's other equally important business in the town, and we got bumped from council chambers. So this is a meeting to consider application for minor variance and consents held under the authority of the Planning Act of Ontario. Please keep in mind the intent of our process is to review the proposal that's before us, listen to all the evidence, and then make a decision. The process is not intended to be used to resolve any concerns or disputes that may exist between the town individuals or any other organization. If a request for a deferral is made this evening and the committee grants such a request, the committee, after consultation with the Secretary Treasurer, will set a new hearing date. No further notice will be provided unless there are changes to the application. In order to conduct an effective and efficient hearing, we've adopted the following process. The owner or authorized agent will be given the opportunity, if so desired, to briefly explain to us the basis of the application and answer any questions that may arise out of the hearing. A maximum of 5 minutes will be provided for this presentation. You need to state your full name and address for the record, and any material submitted to the committee for viewing will remain the property of this committee. Any submission beyond the 5 minutes will be at the discretion of this committee. All persons attending the hearing who wish to support or oppose an application must also state their full name and address for the record. A maximum of 5 minutes will be provided to make your presentation. All remarks and questions are to be directed to the chair of the committee. Any submission beyond the 5 minutes will also be at the discretion of this committee. If there are several speakers that share the same view, we ask that you please select a spokesperson to present the group's combined opinion. We want to hear all the views and collect all the evidence, but repeating the same points does not help us to arrive at a quicker decision. The owner or agent will then be provided with further 5 minutes to respond to comments made by any interested parties and answer any question from the committee members. If the owner or agent has any questions or any concerns found in the staff report, particularly with any of the proposed conditions, this will be an opportunity to advise us. The matter will then be taken to committee for a decision, and that will mark the end of all discussion from the floor. Once our committee makes an oral decision this evening, any person desiring a copy must file with the Secretary Treasurer at this meeting a written request for notice of decision. We provided a green sheet to the right here at the side for this purpose. Please note that you must make your written request in order to be included on the list that is used by the Ontario Municipal Board for the giving of any subsequent notice of any appeal. Written notice of our decision will be mailed not later than 10 days for minor variance and 15 days for consents to the applicant, the owner, and/or agent, and any other person who filed a written request for such notice. If you do not agree with the committee's decision, you may appeal this to the Ontario Municipal Board. The last date to appeal the decision to the Ontario Municipal Board will be noted on the decision itself. If no appeal is received within the prescribed time period, the decision of this committee becomes final and binding. Secretary Treasurer will then notify the applicant through subsequent written correspondence. People attending this committee meeting are to be courteous to and respectful members of the committee, town staff, and other people in attendance tonight. And tonight's meeting will be live streamed and available for future viewing on the town's live stream page at oakville.ca/live. We ask that we put all our cellular phones and pagers in the off or silent position so we can ensure our tape proceedings are properly done. Okay, so there's no regrets this evening. Anyone have a declaration of any pecuniary interest, members? Seeing none? Okay. So we have two. Is there anyone here to withdraw now? Not to withdraw, to defer an application. Anyone here to defer tonight? Okay, whoever would like to come down first. Just as you're proceeding, we have two applications that have been withdrawn. Come on down, sir. CABA 25-2018 at 1292 Lakeshore Drive. Anyone here for that application? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Lakeview Drive, thank you. Someone's listening. So that's application CABA 25-2018 at 1292 Lakeview Drive. That's being withdrawn. Anyone here for application CABA 28-2018 at 2430 Old Bronte Road? Okay, that application has also been withdrawn, and we'll note that on the record. And now we're dealing with deferral request, sir.
Yes, thank you. My name is Rick Metelja. My company name is SNDA. Our address is 79 Wilson Street, Suite 301, Oakville, Ontario. We're agents for Mark Verdun at 472 Patricia. And we've recently received comments from town staff that indicate that they have some concerns with the application, and we'd like the opportunity to address those concerns. So I'd ask that we could defer this matter to give us time to do that.
Is there anyone here this evening that has an interest in application CABA 32-2018 at 472 Patricia Drive? Okay. Okay, so.
My name is Anna Nopon. I resigned the property owner at...
well, okay, we're dealing with, no, come on up so we can get your name. We're dealing with a deferral request.
I know.
Okay, so this is one of these circumstances where unfortunately everyone's dragged down for a meeting, and it's an inconvenience, but at the same time, the applicant just probably received the comments on Friday, and they're trying to wrap their heads around it. So we normally offer a first deferral, but I want to hear any concerns you have with the deferral, not with the application, with the deferral.
Oh, I had no reservations with the deferral.
Okay. All right, we have a concern with the application. All right, I'll get to that in a minute. Can we have your name and address for the record?
It's Anna Nocon.
Okay,
I reside at 476 Patricia Drive.
okay, thank you. And I'll have a comment on the deferral and what should be done. Anyone else? But, sir, we're taping these proceedings, so you'd have to either come up and give me your name or reserve when the matter comes back forward. It's up to you. And then you, sir, yes.
Gordon Highbrand, I'm at 479 Rebecca Street. My only question is, if it's deferred, does that mean that we're not considering the application at all today?
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
so we should withhold our comments at this time?
Correct. Let's deal with the deferral request, which is a higher priority of consideration, and then if the matter for some reason is not deferred, then we'll get into the application. And sir, I answered your question? Okay, thank you. Members? Sir, if this matter is deferred, when will it likely come back on again? April 10th?
April 10th.
April 10th. So I need your assessment from what you've seen. Is April 10th give you the sufficient time to recalibrate whatever you need to recalibrate? And particularly because I think you had a show of hands, two here and a gentleman there, that they should be consulted before you leave tonight, get their name and address, and see if you can meet with them and discuss their concerns.
I have a question. What is the rationale behind the deferral?
Well, the rationale, as we heard.
I understand
Yeah.
there's
Well,
opposition to variance 3 and 4.
right, so they read the staff report, there's opposition, and they want a chance to address it. Sometimes it means reducing it, sometimes it means eliminate it, sometimes it means nothing's done and they come back. We don't know, but there's a whole range of options.
So when was that report provided to the applicant?
On Friday, which is
Got the report?
yes.
Well, this is a normal turn of events sometimes, unfortunately. Reports are available the Friday before the meeting, and then you get the weekend, and then you have Monday, try to scramble to get an answer together if you could, and then before you know it, it's a hearing date on a Tuesday. And unless they have some miracle they can do between Monday and Tuesday, normally a deferral is what occurs. And there's a penalty for deferral in the sense that there's a fee. So there's no incentive for people to defer.
That's interesting, because I just personally spoke to the applicant on Sunday at my front door, which would lead me to believe that he got the report on Friday, he was aware of all the variances, and he was looking for my approval.
Right. So I guess you were part of the reason why he needs a deferral, because you weren't given his approval and you figured I better defer it to see if there's something I can do. I'm only speculating.
Okay.
But this is things that we normally hear. It's not out of the realm of the ordinary.
So this is a customary, it's a common occurrence, in other words.
Well, common in the sense that you're trying to resolve things. You don't know what the opposition is in advance. And then when you hear the concerns of neighbors and staff, then you try to recalibrate if you could. So this is a recalibration. Members, any questions? All in support of the deferral request? Okay, sir, your matter will be deferred for April 10th.
Yes.
You had firsthand knowledge of the people that are here, and we encourage you to maybe step outside, exchange phone numbers, and figure out events so you can proceed in a harmonious way. Yes?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to clarify, especially for those in the audience, should the applicant wish to have discussions with planning staff to address some of those concerns, it is possible that it would not be returned to the Secretary Treasurer in time for the April 10th meeting. So new notice would be issued by the Secretary Treasurer when it does return if the application is amended in any way. So we just want to make sure that the residents are on notice of a potential delay in bringing it back to the committee.
We always advise that it's going to be scheduled once they bring the drawings, tracks, and everything, then it's going to be scheduled.
I have another question. how long does it take before the revised blueprints are available to the public?
Well, this is what we were saying. This is a question I asked the agent, if he feels that is sufficient time between now and April 10th. And we don't, we have suggested that the next available hearing date, if the matter is deferred, and it has been deferred, is April 10th. There's no guarantee that they'll be on the April 10th. It all depends on how quick the applicant is able to revise the plans. Obviously, they need to engage in the discussion, both with yourself and others that are here and planning staff, and that might delay it. It might not be April 10th, it might be April 24th. So at the moment, everyone is aiming for the April 10th date, but it may not occur. But presumably there'll be changes to the application, and that will trigger a new notice, and that new notice will have a hearing date on it. So the earliest it could be the 10th, but it could be later. Okay, thank you, sir. Deferred, and like I said, I encourage you to discuss
Thank you,
with
Ron.
your neighbors. Thank you. All right, we have another hand here.
My name is Dylan Dewsbury. I'm from Design Plan Services and representing the owners of 89 2nd Street.
89 2nd Street, application CAVA 27-2018.
Yes.
And sir?
We're requesting deferral as per the staff's recommendation to deal with heritage matters.
Okay, anyone here for application CAVA 27-2018 at 89 2nd Street? Yes, sir?
I live directly across.
Okay, I apologize, but we have to be a little bit formal in the sense that we need to record name and addresses for the record. Plus, we have this marvelous technology here that we got to get everyone on camera for future prosperity.
My name is Roland Clark at 88 2nd Street, directly across the road from the subject property.
Okay,
And I'm here tonight to find out more about what's going to happen here on the site.
okay, well, that's excellent, and again, we apologize for bringing you out. There's a deferral request because you may have read the staff report and they have
I
some
haven't
concern.
seen the stuff yet.
Oh, okay. Do you have access to the internet, sir?
Unfortunately, we couldn't get into it, so
Okay.
I'd like a copy of the
A
staff
copy of the staff
please.
report, yes. I think I can give you mine because it's being deferred.
I do have an access.
Okay, so we'll get you a copy of the staff report, and this fine young gentleman here who's asked for a deferral request, you and him are going to exchange telephone numbers and contact information. Thank you. And he will keep you well informed. He'll tell you exactly what's happening or where it's going to go. So this is CAV. We'll just put the number here, 027-2018. Members, you're all in agreement with the deferral request? So all in support. So your matter will be deferred again. There's no guarantee that it's April 10th. That would be the earliest, but likely the agenda's filling up. It might be later than that.
We would defer to the staff's.
Right. You
Yeah.
have to go through the assessment, and you have this fine young gentleman here that you have to deal with.
That's right.
Okay, so before you go, make sure
I've
you make
got
contact.
that. Oh, this is the stuff, thank you.
Okay, matter is deferred? All right, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Okay, we got 6 matters to deal with tonight, and we'll start out with CAVA 26-2018. This is at 356 Sandhurst Drive.
Good evening, members of the committee. Mr. Chairman, my name is Richard Mann. I'm the architect for the owners at 356 Sandhurst Drive. I live at 153 Woodhaven Park Drive in Oakville.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mann. Is there anyone here this evening that has an interest in application CAVA 26-2018? Okay, members, are you done your site visit? You read the staff report? You studied the plans? Just for those that are here for the first time, our procedural bylaw allows us to dispense with the full public presentation where circumstances warrant. This application is being recommended for approval by staff, subject to certain conditions. Unless there's anything else you wish to add, Mr. Mann, we can take this matter to committee and issue a decision.
I have nothing further to add. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Who would like to move a recommendation on application CAVA 26-2018?
Mr. Chairman, having conducted my site visit, reviewed the applicant's written submission as well as the town's written staff report, and taking into account that there are no comments from the public, I find that this particular application does meet the four tests under the Planning Act. I recommend approval, subject to the condition that the proposed dwelling be constructed in general accordance with the plans as submitted, and further subject to the condition that approval will expire 2 years from the date of this decision. The proposed development does not proceed or a building permit is not issued.
Okay, discussion on that recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support? No one opposed, that application is approved. Okay, application CAVA 29-2018 at 2251 Bethnal Green Road. Am I right? This one here?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
He's still outside. It's Mr. Matilda.
Oh, it is, eh? Okay, so we'll just let him finish his discussion, and we'll just defer it for a second. Is there anyone here other than the agent for application CAVA 29-2018 at 2251 Bethnal Green Road? Okay, so we'll just hold that down while Mr. Meteljic does his discussions outdoors, and we'll continue with CAVA 31-2018 at 2441 Lakeshore Road West.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is David Mackay. I'm a registered professional planner with McNaughton, Hermson, Britton, Clarkson Planning Limited. I represent the owners with regards to the variances.
Good evening, sir. So just to see, is anyone here other than the agent and presumably your clients on application CAVA 31-2018 at 2441 Lakeshore Road West? Okay, so staff are satisfied, at least staff are, we'll have to see where we land on this, on 1, 2, 4, and 5 variants, and they have concern with respect to the depth of the building, I guess, and the step backs.
Yes. So
should we concentrate on those, or you wish to do a?
Well, I was going to suggest, sir. So we met with urban design and planning staff this afternoon at 3 o'clock. After we received the comments. We've been in discussions obviously on the site plan for the western portion of the site for some time, and we've had probably about 4 meetings with them before we filed the application for the variances, so we thought we were satisfied on both fronts on those 2 variances. There's still some concerns outstanding on those ones. So those are not, from my client's perspective, are not critical to the development of the property. They're nuanced variances that we'd like to work with staff on further to see if we can get them on side. I know that your procedure is that either it's all or none in terms of an application. So what we're suggesting is, with regards to 3 and 6, that we would withdraw those 2 variances and continue to deal with staff. And if we can't come to a resolution on them, we'll have to see where we land on it, but I think we can on those.
Okay.
It may result in a further application before you, and I apologize for that, but that's the way sometimes things happen. But the other items are fairly critical to the project to get those nailed down, and we would like to nail those down both for construction purposes, because we'd like to have the parking resolved significantly. That's a big issue for us. And that would allow for the demolition to start, because those matters would be fixed if the committee chose to proceed and grant us those variances. So with respect, I would request withdrawal of variance 3 and
3 and
variance 6 and proceed with the other variances, sir.
Okay, I mean, I think under the circumstance, I think your rationale makes abundance of sense. It's a cautious and prudent approach to proceeding. Members, are you satisfied in accepting revised application to withdraw variance 3 and 62 that appear to be the most controversial, and proceed on variance 1, 2, 4, and 5?
Yes.
Okay, everyone's nodding for. Now, we did have some calls on notice on the Sovereign side. The notices apparently were not posted. I'm assuming that you put them up in accordance with the instructions.
We did, yes, and I believe we sent, yes, with my staff
Right.
did.
Sent
we did,
pictures,
yes.
yeah. Okay, we obviously can't control what happens after they go up. We'd like to ensure that they continue to stay up, but
Yes.
it's understandable. Did you have something to add to that?
Yes, I just, this afternoon, I got a phone call that the sign is missing, so I'm not sure when was done or when was went missing, but
Okay, well, we heard from the agent that, and the representatives that it was posted, and we have picture proof that it was. And so we just need to be a bit more vigilante about this. It happens, we understand. Okay, under the circumstances, we're dealing with variants 1, 2, 4, and 5. And on that basis, I'm going to poll the members if they wish to have a presentation on this. Do you understand the project? They've done their site visit. I'd like to add, Ms. Pavlich, is there anything you wish to add? Okay, so it would be consistent with sort of the rationale that we have in the planning report. Anyone wishing to speak to the committee? Yes, sir.
I'd like to just ask a question.
If you'd like to come forward, register your name and address for the record.
Yeah, my name's Charles Cruikshank. My wife and I are residents at 2451 Sovereign Street, directly opposite the future development.
Yes.
So I guess my question is, I understand that back in, I think it was 2012, there was a decision made, came out from the OMB,
Yes.
or an agreement with the OMB rather, excuse me, concerning the development on this piece of property. The bylaw or the committee adjustments, or the adjustments that are being requested here, are these confirmations of what was agreed to with the OMB, or are these over and above what was agreed with by the OMB?
Okay, well...
If I'm using the right terms.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's a fair question to ask, question one, for variants 1, 2, 4, and 5, and we'll have Ms. Pavlich, because there's not a uniform answer to all of them.
Okay.
Okay, so...
And I guess the rationale behind it is, obviously, if all these are items that have been agreed through that agreement, then, it's pointless coming out to the meeting. Since obviously it has
Well,
to
let
be
Ms.
seen.
Pavlich give you some, an answer to that. She's actually did that in her analysis, but I think she can repeat it here.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the committee, in response to the requests, variances 1 and 2, in our opinion, definitely reflect what was originally intended by the design of the proposed property with respect to the conceptual plans that were provided through the minutes of settlement as approved by the intermunicipal board. And further, as noted in our comments, more recently, council approved a zoning bylaw amendment that would alleviate the requirements for variances 1 and 2. It is still in its appeal process. However, I'm not aware of any appeals being filed to date, and should that be in full force and effect, variances 1 and 2 would not be a required variance for the
They'll be
proposed
overcome
development.
by the new zoning bylaw.
That's correct.
Okay.
Further, with respect to variance number 4, this is an adjustment to the approved Ontario Municipal Board decision with respect to parking. As this committee is well aware, a previous variance application was submitted to address technical error. In this instance, this particular application is actually requesting a further reduction in parking, but to be consistent with the standards that would otherwise be applied to any other mixed-use property within Bronte Village area.
Okay.
The original approval would have required more parking than what we would have currently required today. This, in our comments, we recognize that and accept that that is an appropriate variance for the appropriate development of the property.
So it's bringing it back to its approved state.
Correct.
Okay. And variance number 5?
Further, with variance number 5, there are some nuances with respect to this particular variance. The original approval for height of 12 meters for a total number of stories of 4 stories did not anticipate the required increase in height of the main floor, which the new bylaw has changed to a minimum of 4.5 meters
So
for
you
the
want
main
that
story.
presence on the main street with urban design elements of 4.5 meter
That's
ceiling
correct.
to floor height? Okay.
So automatically, a request of an increase in height would have been required. There are some additional height with the subsequent second, third, and fourth floors, and that's to accommodate, as we understand it, different amenity space that had been accommodated within those stories within the building. The effect of the variances still maintains a 4-story structure, which is the maximum number of stories as provided in the decision of the board, and it was our opinion that the increase in height was appropriate to further develop the property and what was intended by the board's decision.
So it's the blending of the approval of the board and the new requirements of the zoning bylaw that drove the height up to respect the 4.5 meter?
That's correct.
Okay, gotcha. Sir, is that helpful?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else wishing to speak to the committee? Okay, seeing none. Is there anything else to add?
No, Kate's stolen my thunder.
Okay.
So
No, I think it was pretty well.
appreciate that.
It was pretty well laid out in the report. It was very helpful. So, okay.
I'd be
then
happy to
we'll
answer any questions.
Thank
community
you.
have.
We'll take this in the committee, and who'd like to move a recommendation? Thank you, Mrs. McCall.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'll move a recommendation to approve the variances that are before us today. They do fall in line with the previous decision for the OMBs for the proposed development. I will add that the condition proposed by staff is that the proposed development be constructed in general accordance with the final approved site plan to the satisfaction of the Director of Planning Services. And then our standard condition to the variance is that the approval will expire within 2 years if the development has not proceeded and/or building permit not issued.
Okay, discussion recommendation? See none, all those in support? No one opposed, so your application been approved.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Mr. Mackay, on your way out, can you maybe ask Mr. Metelchik that we're holding an item down?
Sure.
Just if you don't mind being our carrier pigeon for that note?
No problem.
Okay, thank you. Application CAB 112-2017. This is a matter that was deferred from our June 27, 2017 meeting at 1011 Upper Middle Road East. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record?
Eric Stiers. I'm one of the owners of Upper Oakville Shopping Center.
Mr. Spires?
Tires.
Tires. My apologies. Is it TI or TY?
TY.
Mr. Tires. Okay, anyone here this evening have an interest in application CAVA 112-2017 for 1011 Upper Middle Road East? See none? Members, have in your hands. You wish a full presentation, you understand the application, you've done your site visit. I think we've dealt with this property before, sir. Is there anything you wish to add on this?
No, we've gone through two site plan comments and condition meetings, and this is in essence, we waited to come back to Committee of Adjustment to be sure that there were no further adjustments, but there were not. And this is just with reduction in the distance from the center line to the setback, there's the front yard setback to be consistent with the rest of the shopping center.
Okay, thank you. We'll take this back to committee. Who would like to move a recommendation? Thank you, Mr. Pulaski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'll move the application be approved as applied for. I find this to be a minor variance, and by bringing the buildings in line, I don't see any impact. I find it meets the Fourth Test of Planning Act. I'll note that there's no opposition from the community, and I'd make the approval subject to development proceeding in general accordance with the final approved site plan, and that the building permit issued within 2 years.
Yeah, we'll take the condition as noted by staff that proposed development be constructed in general accordance with the final approved site plan to the satisfaction of the Director of Planning Services. Okay, thank you. And the standard condition for a building permit. All right, discussion recommendation. Seeing none, all those in support? I guess we should also know for the record there was no one here for any opposition nor written.
He did.
Okay. Thank you for repeating that. Thank you, sir. Application CAVA 195-2017 for 247 Cardinal Drive. This is a matter that was deferred from our June 21st, 2017 application. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is Dylan Dewsbury from Design Plan Services, and I'm here representing the owners of 247 Cardinal Drive.
Okay, is there anyone here this evening that has an interest in the application CAVA 195-2017 for 247 Cardinal Drive? Okay, maybe very quickly, tell us the changes that were made between the original application and the revised, and then subject to any questions that my members may have, we'll take this matter to committee.
So after the 21st November meeting, we met with staff, including Kate, as well as landscape architect and urban design experts. And the result was a change in the driveway configuration. So it used to take up more of the front yard, exiting over the current curb cut.
Okay, yeah.
But we've minimised it and made a more direct line to the street,
Okay.
which maximises the soft landscaping as well as protecting the two mature trees there, including the magnolia and the white spruce tree.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Anyone here this evening have an interest in application CABA 195-2017 at 247 Cardinal Drive? No members, any questions? Okay, so we'll take this man to committee. Thank you for that, Senator. Who would like to move a recommendation? Thank you, Mr. Hardcastle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Having undertaken a site visit, reviewed the staff report, and heard the presentation from the applicant, I'm satisfied that the requested variances conform to the four tests of the Act. I'll put forward a motion of approval, subject to two conditions. The first being that the proposed additions be constructed in general accordance with the plans as submitted. The second being that the approval will expire within 2 years of the date of the decision if a building permit has not been issued.
Okay.
I would note that there was no member of the public here to speak to this matter.
Thank you. We'll take this matter to committee. Discussion or recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support? None opposed, your application being approved.
Thank you.
Application CABE 1 of 2018. This was deferred from our January 16, 2018 meeting. This is for 260 Dilwood Drive. So is this Mr. Metelchik's as well?
No, this is Mr. Carruthers.
Yeah.
Mr. Carruthers here?
No.
Okay, so why don't we see if we can bring Mr. Metelchik in. Can you, would you see if he's available for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Bethnal, right? Bethnal, going back to Bethnal.
Well, I don't know. We don't often have no-shows. Okay, we're dealing with...
My apologies.
No, that's fine. It's always good to mediate, negotiate, and find solutions on other matters and see what we can do on this one. CABA 29-2018 at 2251 Bethnal Green Road.
Yes.
That's you, sir. Name and
That's me.
address for the record.
Rick Meteljian, from SNDA, 79 Wilson Street, Suite 301, Oakville, Ontario.
Okay, is there anyone here other than Mr. Meteljic that has an interest in application CABA 29-2018 at 2251 Bethnal Green Road? Seems like there's no one here. Members, you wish a presentation, you've done your site visit, read the staff report. Anything you wish to add, sir?
Not at this time, no.
All right, we'll take this matter to committee. Let's have a recommendation from someone. Thank you. Mr. Mark Shalava.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Having conducted my site visit and read the staff report as well as the application, I do note that there's no one from the public has commented on this particular application. I do find, though, that it does meet the four tests on the Planning Act. Recommend that it be approved, subject to the staff condition that the proposed covered rear yard deck be constructed in general accordance with the plans as submitted, and subject also to the condition that this approval will expire 2 years from the date of the building permit has not been issued.
All right, discussion recommendation. See none, all those in support? No one opposed, that application has been approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have...
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine, thank you. So what should we do with application CABA 1, 2018 at 260 Dilwood Drive? Should we just adjourn for 2 minutes until someone makes a call?
Yes, I can.
Okay, here we go. Is there a telephone number?
Yep.
Okay.
515-1241.
Is this a cell number?
This is home phone because it's business phone is now.
Okay, we'll see. We'll put him on the speaker.
It's only 7:30 in the morning, we'll come in there early. It's possible.
The customer you are calling is unavailable at the moment. Please try again later. La bonne que vous désirez joindre ne...
Is there an alternative number that we can call?
He's here. Yes.
Oh,
Was that
I emailed so everybody's supposed to be make sure that
that he had time?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
that's okay. We called you at home. You're not there. Okay, so,
Silly, so I apologize.
so we're dealing with application CABA 1 of 2018, deferred from our January 16, 2018 meeting at 260 Oakville Drive. Sir, name and address for the record?
David Carruthers, agent for the applicants.
And your address, sir?
505 York Boulevard, Unit 3, Hamilton, Ontario.
Okay, thank you. Just for the record, there's no one in the audience, so I'm assuming there's no one here that has an interest in the application. Is there anything you wish to add beyond what we have on the record, sir?
No, nothing at this time.
Okay, members, you've done your site visit, you've read the staff report, you studied the plans. Is there anything that you wish to clarify, any items that you wish to pursue? If not, we'll take this matter to committee and issue a decision. Who would like to issue this recommendation? Thank you, Ms. Miguel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll move a recommendation to approve the application as submitted. The proposed front porch is generally in line with the abutting dwellings. The variances are minor and are desirable for the development of the site, and there are no impacts on the abutting properties. I will note that there is no objection nor support from the staff, from the public either way. Staff is in accordance with the application. I'll move a motion to approve, subject to the condition that the proposed additions be constructed in general accordance with the plans as submitted, and that the approval will expire within 2 years if the development has not proceeded and/or a building permit not issued.
Thank you. Discussion on recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support? No one opposed to your application being approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we have the minutes of February 13. I was not present at that meeting, so who would like to move a recommendation on that? Thank you, Mr. Hardcastle. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in support? Okay, those have been approved. And would you like to proceed with an adjournment motion? Okay, all those in support with the adjournment? All right, we're adjourned at 7:37. I wish I was on one right now.